Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Daily Huddle with me, Life Coach Franzani. Every week we pick a theme and every day we discuss a topic in that theme. So this week we're talking about expectations, and today we're going to cover our expectations for ourselves. So I believe that you deserve it all: career, family, and fun. And I believe that you can have it all when you, 1, know exactly what you want, precise clarity; 2, get out of your own way to get it, an expanded mindset; and 3, show up over and over, consistent action. So clarity, mindset, action. So here we start every day intentionally. We don't leave our legacies, our happiness, our relationships, or anything in our lives up to chance. We don't subscribe to bumper sticker personal development. We treat our personal development and our growth like a job because it's the most important one. So let's dive in. Yesterday we talked about expectations and what that means. So to expect is to look for or anticipate with reason or justification, and where they came from: family, society, experiences, and personal preferences. And today we're talking about managing the expectations we have for ourselves. So our expectations shape our life, how we perceive it, and how we show up. And I believe in having high expectation for ourselves. It's unrealistic, unspoken, and unidentified expectations that lead to disappointments and resentments. When we have realistic, communicated, and identified expectations for ourselves, we can realize and bring to fruition our deepest beliefs. Even though our expectations are essentially what we anticipate in the future, it's based on our past experiences. So to manage our expectations, we really need to examine our past. So our expectations for ourselves are really based on our beliefs about ourselves, which are also based on our family, society, and experiences. If you believe you're a positive and generous person, you expect yourself to show up positively and generously. And when you meet expectations for yourself, you feel a sense of peace. And when you don't, you're disappointed. So in that way, our expectations serve as a really valuable litmus test for our behavior and how we want to show up in this world. So the easiest way for me anyway, to examine our expectations is to examine our disappointments. So think about a time that you were disappointed in yourself. So for me, recently, a woman on a Facebook friend, wrote something that I felt like was very insensitive given the time and race relations happening. She was white, and so I decided to unfriend her. And that was really bothering me for a couple of days. I couldn't really figure out why I was so disappointed in myself. I felt like, oh, you set up a boundary. Fantastic for you, right? So when I examined my expectations and my beliefs, I realized that I am someone who expects herself to stand up for what she believes in, 1. And 2, I believe change happens one person at a time, and I expect myself to be part of that powerful ripple effect. So I realized that I wasn't living up to the expectations that I had for myself, and I needed to fix that. So I refriended her, and I sent her an article that I hope will expand her mindset. And even though that was really, really uncomfortable, I felt immediate peace when I did it because it was in line with the high expectations I have for myself in this time, right? So that's an example of an expectation that I respected and wanted to uphold. But your disappointments also highlight expectations that you might need to let go of. So for me, recently as well, I really like to stick to a strict schedule. It clears my mental space. I know everything's going to get done because I have a place for it and I don't have to worry about it. And I definitely have not been as productive as I wanted, and I've been really disappointed by, the things that haven't been accomplished. So when I took a step back and looked at my expectations for myself in this time, I was realizing that I was expecting myself to show strength by ignoring my feelings, to be perfect Um, and to put work before myself. So I thought of that when I realized that's what I was the standard and the expectation I was holding myself to. I thought, no, I don't want to. That's not what I believe. That's not what I expect from myself. So how did I manage that? Well, I shifted my expectation. I asked myself, what is the highest expectation I have for myself when it comes to my brothers and sisters, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, being unjustly murdered? Well, for one, it's to give them, who are a representation of so many unnamed victims, the respect they deserve and to mourn them. And also to keep showing up. I'm grateful to be alive, so I'm going to continue thriving. Prioritizing rest and choosing joy are some of the ways I am honoring those lives by living my own, lifting my voice, and saying their names. So what did I do when I realized that the expectations I was trying to live up to were not the right ones? I minimized my schedule and really left it only to essential tasks, clients, showing up here for you, inner work, and rest. And I've allowed a lot more time for connection, for learning, seeing, understanding different perspectives, and fun. Honestly, lots of fun. So, managing your expectations, like much of personal development, is simple, but it's not easy. Many of us have expectations of strength and resilience and kindness that take practice and conscious effort to uphold. And on the flip side, the ones we need to let go of, perfectionism, fearlessness, numbing, take conscious effort to let go of over and over again. So take a minute to... Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost my place. I got completely confused. Now it's your turn. When have you recently been disappointed in yourself? What expectation did you fail? Was it realistic, communicated, and identified? Is it an expectation you want to uphold or let go of? So take a minute to examine that. Now, I want you to think of yourself and think, what would it feel like to live up to my high, realistic, communicated, and identified expectations that I have for myself for 6 months, every day for 6 months? What would it look like in January 2021 if you showed up as your best self for your health, for your family, for your career, for your business? What would that feel like? What would change? I am taking 15 people on that exact journey. From now through June 30th, I am taking discovery calls to find 15 people who want to reverse and one-on-one with me to reverse engineer the life that they dream. So if that's you, go ahead and grab your free session in the link below. Thanks for being here. Give yourself an amazing day, and I'll see you bright and early.